Now, digital marketing is marketing of products or services using digital technologies, mainly on the internet. Digital marketing's development since the 90s and 2000s have changed the way brands and businesses use technology for marketing. As digital platforms are increasingly incorporated into marketing plans and everyday life, and as people use digital services devices instead of visiting physical shops, digital marketing campaigns are becoming more prevalent and efficient. Digital marketing now extends to non-internet channels that provide digital media, such as mobile phones, callbacks, and on-hold mobile ringtones. Well, I have the President and Chief Executive Officer of Shop to My Door, Nduka Ude. He's here to give insight into some of these issues and put them into perspective. Thank you very much for joining us on Business Nigeria.
How are you? It's nice to meet you.
Let me start with digital marketing itself.
Sure.
How has it been? Tell us, how's that space been?
Well, I think it's a very interesting space. Basically, what you've seen with digital marketing is that it has given the small companies, you could be a one-man company, the ability to reach out to millions of people without spending the type of money that the big brands have. You know, with digital marketing, I, as a owner of a little retail outlet, can come up with a very nice video. And you just, maybe you spend $10, $20 to push it. And if the few people who see it the first time like it, they start sharing it. And before you know, it's gone viral. So digital marketing, if done correctly, has the potential to virtually lower the marketing cost of any company to close to zero, you know. So when you look at the cost of acquisition, you know, which is the cost of getting a customer, a video that has the potential of going viral can literally cost a company close to zero in marketing because they've spent virtually nothing. You know, so that is one of the things you are seeing now. You know, I was reading a report of recent where you are looking at countries like India. They are projecting that in the next 10 years, India will have over 1 million millionaires. You know, and when you look at these statistics, you see these are people who, India is an IT-based economy. IT is probably one of their biggest exports, you know. A lot of it has to do with digital marketing. You know, they've been able to enlighten their workforce in that regard. And a lot of these companies are small internet-based companies who are just coming up with innovative ideas and using social media to push these things. So you can be, the way the world economy is now, I can be in Nigeria, I shoot a video, and that video is selling my products as far back as the United States, as far back as the UK, with virtually zero marketing cost. So this is something we in Nigeria need to learn, we need to tap into and see how to exploit these channels.
Talking about exploiting that, there must be some challenges. We're talking about our client. Tell us, how has it been?
Well, challenges in anything you do, you must face challenges. You know, so one is not something you rush into and say, oh, I want to use. Let me give a. When we started, you know, when you start a small company and you have to do a lot of things yourself. There's a way you configure your advert, and you'll be surprised. You wake up within 10 minutes, you've blown $100, or within 5 minutes because it's not configured correctly. You know, you need to be able to set up your channels to monitor it. Feedback is probably the most important thing. You know, so when it requires a level of expertise, and you need to be careful who you are hiring as your digital marketing expert. You know, there's what you call target audience. You know, you don't want to be selling shoes and you are showing your products to the bus driver or somebody else who is not going to make use of that product. Indeed. So there's a lot of expertise involved, and you have a few reputable companies that can do this. But the key thing is it is something anybody who is internet savvy can learn. You know, there are a lot of resources out there online. Google has made the world, they have been able to organize virtually the data of the world in such a way that any topic you are looking for, you can go to it. You know, and that is probably what I advise new companies, new upcoming companies to tap into. You know, look into how to produce enlightening videos about your products. And most times it's not a video, a direct marketing video that sells. You need to look at things that are comical, you know, because those are things that have the ability to go viral. You know, produce a shoe, you know, let it be, don't just tell people come and buy my shoes. You know, produce a shoe, a video about your shoe, find a way to add comedy to it. That is what pushes you. That is what makes any video, any marketing campaign.
Now one major aim of this is also exports. So,
Sure.
so Shea export. Now, how far have we gone? This government is focusing so much on exports. So, what means? How do the digital marketers? How do they come in to also help fast track this drive?
Well, you know, if you look at the export arena, when we say the government is doing a lot, I'm not 100% in support of that.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
because you could make a lot of noise that, oh, we are doing this, but in actuality, you know, when you look at the practical sense of it, are things easy for people to export? Now, when we say the government is doing a lot, you know, we have a lot of role in this because, you know, Shop to My Door, we've launched our export business. So we are currently helping a lot of Nigerians with products to export to the US. When you enter the export business, you see that the way the government has designed it, it is designed to favor the very big companies. If I want to export products now, the way the government has set it up is that you have to go to some of the export bodies that have to certify your, you know, NEPC is working, you know, they are actually one of the organizations that I'm impressed with.
Great.
Because it is very easy for you to get the documentations you need from them. If I need to export anything, I go to NEPC. With 1 or 2 days of submitting all your documentations, your export license is ready. So that is one agency that is working. But when you now talk about other agencies, you have Cobalt, you know, these are inspection bodies that are supposed to inspect your product. So why I say the government is focusing on the big players and neglecting the small people is because it is very difficult for the small business person. The person that has 10 shoes to ship to US, the person that has 10 adires to export, to go to Cobalt or Carmine or all these inspection agencies, it's very difficult for them to navigate what customs requires you to do. You know, and then you have you know, when we say government is making export easy, when you are exporting items, you have things like the NEXP, Nigerian Export Form, Nigerian Export Proceeds Form. You know, you go to virtually any bank in Nigeria, 90 to 95% of them do not know about Nigerian Export Proceeds Form. So what are we saying when we say government has made it easy? You see, in growing any economy, if you look at the economies, the US, the UK, what drives the economy is the small businesses. It is easy to have 50,000 farmers exporting let me say 100 kilograms of product than to have 50 companies exporting containers and containers of products. That is what grows the economy. You know, the small businesses. Have we created avenues that makes it easy for the 50,000 farmers you have all over to have a central hub where they can go and drop their products, and those things are quickly certified by one body for export? That is the challenge. And those are the things that Nigerian Export Promotion Council, the customs, SON, what are the other bodies, NAFDAC. Those are the things they need to look into simplifying. If I need to export an item, I should be able to go to one location and have customs there, have the inspection bodies there. If look at it now, if I need to export products, the offices of the inspection agencies, some are in Abuja. So if I am in Abeokuta, if I am in Benue, look, Benue is a very sore case. I say it's sore because you have a lot of agriculture that is being produced in places like Benue, but they don't have access to export these items. So what is stopping the government from setting up hubs in these locations where these farmers can go, these things are collated, packaged, and exported? And that is one of the things we are doing at Shop to My Door. You know, we've set up 3 export hubs already in Lagos. You have one in Ajao Estate, one in Festac in partnership with ABC, and one in Lekki, where people who have small items, adires, food stuff like that, they can go there. We will handle all the packaging, all the customs, all the clearance in the US, and we are beginning to see a lot of people use it.
Great.
That is what the government needs to focus on. The small businesses.
Great. Small business. That's a very big one because they actually are the bedrock of any economy. If you are to do. But before we go, because I'm having signals from the stock exchange, I don't know if I'm to go there yet, but what about AGOA? AGOA is something that we've also not looked at. Oh, I see that reaction. But we need to say something about it before we round up.
Yeah, AGOA is vital for a country like Nigeria. We have not done anything about it. All we talk about is, oh, we know of the legislation called AGOA. You know, you see government officials, they are taking pictures. Go to countries like Uganda. These countries have a national strategy on AGOA. Because of the potentials. You know, AGOA gives us the ability to have export duty-free entry of over 6,000 products to the US. So what you are beginning to see, Nigerians are not even, we are talking about retaining FX. What you are seeing in the economy is you have Chinese companies coming from China, setting up hubs here, using the fact that the country of origin of the products is from Nigeria to the US. What happens when does the FX come back? What happens? They take it back to China. We are not utilizing the potentials that AGOA has created for us. And the funny thing is a lot of people think AGOA just has to do with agricultural products. No, it has 6,000 products are covered by AGOA. And the legislation is such that once up to 35% of the component of the product is locally made in an African country such as Nigeria, it qualifies for duty-free. So the government need to work more on ensuring that small businesses, there are a lot of textile manufacturing companies, shoe companies in Aba, work with these people. You know, one of the things the Chinese are doing, if you go to a lot of warehouses in the US, you have multiple Chinese companies aggregating products and putting them in those warehouses. And that is where a lot of the things that are sold on Amazon and eBay are coming from. The government should look into that. We are doing what we can do on our own, you know. I know, but well, small businesses, they need to focus on it.
Thank you very much. I like that. Small businesses, well, Chief Executive Officer, Shop to My Door. I must thank you, Mr. Ode, for spending your time and putting all of this into perspective, you know, and even the passionate issue about AGOA and how we need to grow small businesses. Thank you again, sir.
Thank you.